Today we are diving deep into one of the most mysterious and powerful stories in the Bible, the story of Abraham being asked to sacrifice his son Isaac. This story is found in Genesis 22, and for thousands of years people have wrestled with the same question: why would God ask Abraham to do such a thing? What is this story really telling us? Let's break it down. God tells Abraham to take his beloved son Isaac, the son of promise, the miracle child born to him and Sarah in their old age, and offer him as a burnt sacrifice on Mount Moriah. Abraham obeys without hesitation. He takes Isaac, the wood, the knife, and journeys to the mountain. Just as Abraham lifts the knife to sacrifice Isaac, an angel of the Lord calls out and stops him, and a ram caught in a thicket is provided as a substitute sacrifice. The angel declares that because of Abraham's obedience, God will bless him and his descendants greatly. On the surface, this story seems troubling. Why would a loving God ask for a human sacrifice? But here's the key. This was a test of faith and obedience. God never intended for Isaac to die. He wanted to see if Abraham trusted him completely, even when the command didn't make sense. Let us use real-life situations to better understand this story. A lot of people call themselves believers, especially when life is going well for them. When you have a great job, stable family, and all of the blessings that God provides, it's very easy to praise God and call yourself a believer. But what happens when you lose your job? Or if you go through a divorce? Or any of life's difficulties? Will you turn on God? Will you still sing his praises, or will you no longer believe that God is real when a bright future is hard to imagine? For Abraham, Isaac represented everything: his future, his promise, his legacy. By asking for Isaac, God was essentially asking, "Do you love me more than the blessings I've given you?" And Abraham's obedience proved that his faith was not in the gift, but in the giver. But the story doesn't end there. Genesis 22 is not just about Abraham, it's also a prophecy, a foreshadowing of Jesus Christ. You see, Abraham was willing to offer his only son, but God the Father actually did. He offered up his son Jesus. So this is not a story about cruelty. It's a preview of the greatest act of love in history: God sacrificing his son for the salvation of the world. After the ram is sacrificed, Abraham names the place Jehovah-Jireh, the Lord will provide. This is significant. Abraham learned that God is not just the one who commands, but the one who provides. When we face impossible tests in our lives, moments when obedience seems too costly, this story reminds us God always provides a way. He may not give us the answer immediately, but his provision is certain. So, what is this story really telling us? There are three main lessons here. Number 1. True faith requires surrender. Abraham showed that faith isn't just belief, it's trust, even when we don't understand. Sometimes God asks us to lay down our Isaac, the thing we love most, so he can test where our heart truly is. Number 2. God's ways are higher. From Abraham's perspective, the command seemed impossible, but from God's perspective, it was part of a much bigger plan. The same is true in our lives. We may not see the full picture, but God always does. Number 3. Pointing to Christ. Ultimately, this story prepares us for Jesus, the ultimate sacrifice who takes our place. It reminds us that God never asks us to endure something he himself was not willing to endure. Today, we may not face a test exactly like Abraham's, but we do face challenges, losses, and even choices that reveal where our trust lies. Are we willing to lay down our plans, our dreams, even our comfort if God asks us to? Do we trust him enough to believe that his provision is greater than our fear? The story of Abraham and Isaac is not about a cruel God. It's about a God who provides, a God who tests to refine us, and a God who ultimately gives his own son for us. So the next time you read Genesis 22, remember, it's not just history, it's a message of faith, surrender, and God's perfect provision. So whatever you are going through right now, just understand that God's way is better. Losses do not indicate that God is not real or he is not on your side. Whatever that thing is that makes you happy and fulfilled, are you willing to give it up for God? That's the question here. The story is really a surrender metaphor, a reminder to choose faith over fear. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. God bless you.